Well, good morning to you at 8:09 and 37 degrees. I want to introduce you to my guest in the studio. Louis Abramson is here. He's been on with us before, but it's been a while. He is with CHJI Support Services. CHJI stands for Cultivating Healing and Justice Initiative, and that's a long title. So let me just say, hi, Louis. Welcome.
Hi. Definitely. Good morning. Thank you for having us once again here in World Radio. The CHJI stands for Cultivating Healing and Justice Initiative Support Services, and I started this back in early of 2021, and it
What
was.
a pretty ringtone your phone has.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So when I started, this organization, it was from a side of actually being a cancer survivor, fighting basically to get equity in health. I saw the barriers, and I saw all the um, what was happening as far as when we had that pandemic, right? And
Yeah.
and how everybody had to go back into their homes, and a lot of cancer patients had difficulties being able to not only access care, but also they didn't have a support system.
Mm.
And I would say to you, Kate, that it was such a difficult journey, and and I came to find that there was such a need for both awareness and education, and understanding, and our community desperately needed uh, uh, a voice to a organization like mine to be able to go out and talk about a cancer that comes with so much stigma attached to it.
Prostate cancer, especially.
Yes,
Okay.
prostate cancer. So,
Mm-hmm.
so one of the things that we started doing in the very beginning was looking at uh, connecting doctors with patients.
Okay.
Looking at
Yeah. Where do I go? Who do I talk to? Has got to be a big question.
yeah, and creating a platform where they can speak and see them through Zoom. Also looking at how do we go out and do the outreach in the community, and I found that uh, creating a local car show uh, was one of the first, and
Oh, yes, that would draw people and probably more men than women for a car
yeah,
show. Good
and
idea.
we had a little bit of both. We had plenty of women drivers who had beautiful vehicles, and then we had men drivers as well, and um, and everybody rallied to what we all knew was a quiet, uh, really impactful issue happening in our community.
When was that
So
you had the
we,
car show?
we had our first car show back in 20 uh 2021, I believe.
Okay.
And then we just had one recently on October 15th. Special thanks to the Ford Mustangs and the Washington Hot Rods, and members of the community coming down with their cars. And
Now, I don't like to spend too much time talking about what already happened, especially when you have an event coming up. So let's go forward.
yeah,
You've got something this Saturday.
yeah. So this Saturday we're moving into now our second I Walk for Him. I Walk for a Cause uh prostate cancer awareness walk. And in this walk, it will be taking place in the village of Otisville, uh, at their village veteran memorial park.
That's a
At
beautiful park.
Yeah, yeah. For those who don't know the location, it's 2379 Main Street in the village of Otisville. And special thanks to both the councilman Lance Davrin, who brought us there in the beginning, and also the mayor Brian Carey and the team there in the community, and also the sponsors locally that make this possible for us to be able to have this function.
So it
Mhm.
is this coming Saturday, and you're inviting everyone to come out and walk for a cause, and that cause is prostate cancer awareness, right?
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
Now
So,
I'm going to be there.
yeah, yeah.
And my dog and I were there last year, and she has agreed to come with me again.
And I again, this is a park that is pet friendly. So all family members are welcome. It is a very leisurable walk. So both older and younger age can do this, and we have on site we're have the wonderful opportunity of having Mount Sinai Hospital have their mobile unit having available free PSA blood screening. They now have I believe is a sonogram machine, which I saw inside the unit, as well as a 1 hour turnaround of results, which is incredible.
Wow, yeah. Yeah. So now the PSA testing is just a little pinch with a needle, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
so it's just a little pinch with a needle. It takes less than 5 seconds. It's a blood draw. They're looking for the antigen. And I think it's one of the uh most better ways to find out being between the cancer cells, and also it is kind of like the starting journey
Yes.
of early screening and better health care, because you're looking at identifying uh, if you have either high numbers or low numbers, and it's not a scary thing, because it is just something like no different when you take your car and you're doing a regular oil change every 3,000 miles, right? You
Hmm.
want to make sure that everything is running just the way it should.
And if you catch a problem early, it's much easier treated.
Yeah, well, and that's where early detection for cancer is such an important tool.
So,
Yeah.
ladies, if you're listening, if there's a man in your life that you know doesn't get his regular checkups, bring him to Otisville Saturday. What time?
So we are starting. Registration starts at 9:30, and the walk starts at 11:30 a.m. We have and it ends at 3 p.m. But again, it starts at 9:30 a.m.
Hmm.
We have a live band and entertainment. We have local food trucks there available. And we have a lovely band by the name of BD Lance and his team, and they come in and they're gonna do a great performance. We have our rising star DJ, Mrs. Solis, is coming down, and we'll have the mascot of the Renegades again this year again, which is
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is Mr. Roscoe himself. Um,
And I'll bring some prizes for people to win when they spin the wall prize
that's
wheel.
right.
Yep.
That's right.
My dog, I promised she will not take all of the prizes, although if there was a prize for beauty, she'd probably take that. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
bring
that's
your
this
you got to bring.
Saturday.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, the PSA testing will be until when?
So the PSA testing starts around 10 a.m. and we try to run it as long as possible. So we run it until almost 2:30 p.m.
Okay.
Um, and again, there is no money required. It is totally free.
You don't
No,
have to pay to do the walk. You don't have to pay to get the PSA testing. Just it's something to do for the family, with the family.
yeah. So bring your dad, bring your uncle, bring grandpa, because uh the uh the prostate cancer is a very silent killer. It it
It does
it
not really have symptoms at first.
These symptoms are very, very suddenly not registered for a long time. It can be a slow growing cancer. And so, if you do spot symptoms, they're sometimes often confused with other things. You may have trouble urinating, or decrease in your force of stream. Um, uh, uh, you may have blood in the urine, but it's not always an issue.
That's something that people at least would get checked out. But let's take a quick break. We have Louis Abramson here right now from CHJI Support Services talking about an event happening this Saturday, especially for men's health, prostate cancer awareness. We'll be right back on Wall Radio. We are Wall Radio. It's 8:22 now, 37 degrees. With me in the studio, Louis Abramson, the founder and hard worker for CHJI Support Services. Okay, so this Saturday you've got the event coming up, starting at, well, any time after, like,
No,
I'm going to come around 10. Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
good?
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, registering is 9:30 a.m. You're looking at uh, uh, free shirts while they are supplied.
Yes, thank you for my
And
T-shirt that you brought me today, too.
absolutely, absolutely. The registration for donation is $20. And we thank you for all that support. And obviously, it is at the Otisville Veteran Memorial Park at 2379 Main Street in Otisville, New York. At 9:30, registration runs all the way to 3 p.m. Live band, entertainment, and free PSA screening, which is a blood test with no cost to the patient, with a 1 hour turnaround and no obligation whatsoever. This is for your health, members of the community, and come out and bring your men out to save lives in early detention.
Now, you handle more. I mean, this got started because of your experience that you went through with prostate cancer, but you've branched out. CHJI Support Services helps all families dealing with cancer, as I understand it. I know you have a food pantry if they need help.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So we have a food pantry at 40 Grove Street in Middletown. We can also give us a call at our 877-245-4227 phone number, or reach us at our website at chjiss.org. We have what is called an enclosed food pantry, which is dedicated for cancer patients. I just want to touch on two things that we have been doing recently, which is thanks to many different medical providers that we collaborate with. We were also able to do a cancer screening in Newburgh for the first time for intellectual disabilities men, because individuals with disabilities do get cancer no different than the
Right.
regular population.
Sure.
And we work a lot with mental health, because mental health is a real impactful problem in prostate cancer. You're talking about the behavior of the diagnosis and the conditions and the chronic. You're also talking about the social determinants. It's 1 in 4 men that are in the Black community, 1 in 6 in the Latino, 1 in 8 in the average. And there's a social poverty and lack of education and isolation when it comes to prostate cancer.
And you're working to change that.
Oh, absolutely, and you don't have to feel that you're fighting this alone, and this is why you need to come to the I Walk for Him, I Walk for a Cause in the village of Otisville, because what we're doing is we're trying to break the stigma. There is there should be any no reason why if you have a situation where you think that you have a situation, you should not come and be properly tested or speak to a medical professional, which we have on site.
Okay, that's a lot going on this Saturday. You've made it a whole day of entertainment and fun that doesn't cost anything, and you're requesting a donation if you want the T-shirt to do the walk, and that's $20. That's very reasonable. But the
Mhm,
rest of it, you've made
mhm.
a party for the day,
Yeah,
just so people will come out, and then hey, while you're here, take that quick PSA blood test.
enjoy the festivity. Come and participate, support your local community, and number one, know your health factors. Know that the best way for you to take care of someone is with early detention, and early detention comes via screening. And this cancer, it may be a cancer, but it's not the final. And everyone needs to come out and get this test done.
There you go. Now, um, if anyone has any questions, probably the website is an excellent spot to start, chjiss.org. And I'm on it right now. You've got lots of information, your mission and sponsorships and resources, what to do, where to go.
Yeah, yeah, and definitely look us up through the phone as well, 877 245 4227. Our office is 40 Grove Street, Suite 103 in Middletown, New York. And You can definitely find us on the web at CHJI Support Services. We are on Facebook to follow us, and we do uh, take care of many aspects between ED, sexual performance, your surgery of prostate cancer, radiation therapy, um, and prostate cancer effectiveness for both when the chronic disease happens. And remember that prostate cancer is the second biggest killer of men in the United States, and early screening matters. Come down to the walk at the village of Otisville, at the Veteran Memorial Park on 2379 Main Street in Otisville, New York. And we start early at 9:30 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Louis Abramson from CHJI Support Services. I will be there on Saturday with my dog, and I'll see if I could bring a couple of male friends also and urge them get tested. Get tested. That's all. Just get your PSA checked. Thanks for being here today. It's 8:29 at Wall Radio, a perfect time for us to go into a news update, starting with CBS News.